Today on Behind the Design, we're in Hoxton visiting Sarah, the creative force behind the design studio, Moussem. Sarah's passion for preserving the artistry of Moroccan weaving has made Moussem a unique gem in the world of interiors, and one we can't wait to explore further. Hi, Sarah. How are you?
Good to see you.
So nice to see you.
You
Thank you
too.
so much for having us. We're so excited to be here.
As you know, I'm from Morocco. I was born and raised in Morocco, moved to the UK when I was 18. And in 2020, my paternal grandma, passed away, sadly. And in our culture in Morocco, rugs and textile making is a way that we preserve identity, but it's also the financial security that my grandma had. When she passed away, I felt like all of the secrets behind the identity and the symbols and the meaning and our culture were going to get lost. So I had this kind of panic and really deep need to know a little bit more about my culture and connect back to people back home. Luckily, I got put in touch with one of her neighbors. From one neighbor to two neighbors, and these are women who are in their 60s, 70s that are still weaving and kind of welcomed me into this world. And that's how Moussem started. I just wanted to understand more about my culture and share it with the place I live, which is the UK. So a lot of the designs and motifs in the rugs have meaning. It's almost like a manuscript or a journal, a canvas that women back then could tell their stories, their secrets sometimes, that they couldn't say out loud. Feminine symbols, masculine symbols, and it tends to talk about fertility and the relationship between male, female, reproduction, losange. The diamond shape actually symbolizes a woman's body, but also it could be that it's a wish for her to get pregnant. So sometimes a mum will make a rug for her daughter and it will have symbols around fertility, and it's her wish for her daughter to make grandchildren.
You mentioned to me, actually when we were talking earlier, that one of the things you love about the design community is collaboration. Can you tell us about a collaboration you've really loved?
One of the ones we did was quite early on with a designer called Ellen, and we did the Bull Boutique Hotel in the Cotswolds. So they wanted the space to feel calm, to feel imperfect. There was the story all about wabi-sabi and embracing the beauty of imperfection, and they wanted to incorporate elements of handmade, and we worked together to create 3 bespoke designs for the rooms in the hotel. And the result of it was just such a beautiful space that people to this day go and visit and always give us the feedback that they felt very serene when they
I actually went, I stayed there.
Did you?
It's beautifully done. You've got to go to the Bull and Charlbury if you're ever around the Cotswolds. Can you tell us about the process of creating the team of people behind?
As we grew our trust, I think a lot of the weavers in Morocco are used to being exploited. The industry in Morocco is very male-dominated, which is surprising. The makers of rugs in Morocco are women, but the actual commercial distributors are men that will come and not compensate them properly. And I remember at the beginning, they would include their labor and they will include material. We quickly started talking about, what about artistry? What about your art? Because there is an element that we can add on top of labor and material that is unique to you and your experience and the fact that you've been weaving for 50 years. We started having conversations, and as the trust grew, we built the bespoke service. And with bespoke, and especially working on commercial projects and more residential projects, we needed to grow the team quite quickly. We started with 2 weavers, Fatma and Yamna, who are literally neighbors.
Yes.
And then when a project came that was bigger than us, immediately we got introduced to their neighbors. And suddenly we had a team, we went from 2 to 15, overnight, which was...
But is this all through word of mouth?
Yes, all through word of mouth, from the same village. And it's literally within 10-minute walk from each other.
Do you think of the rugs you're creating as modern heirlooms to also last for over 60 years?
Yeah, the way the new rugs are made are exactly the same way they were made 100, 3,000 years ago, because the art of rug weaving in Morocco is over 3,000 year old. And the skill as well is a skill that weavers have learned from their mums, who have learned it from their grandmas, who have learned it from their great-grandmas. So it's a skill that they start learning from very young, and they're almost like they can do with their eyes closed. And all of our clients and people who eventually own one, they can immediately touch a rug and feel the quality and feel that it's going to last for a long time.
From growing up in Morocco, is it something that everyone over there does value, craftsmanship?
Starting the business has definitely brought me closer to the craft. I would say now, especially with my culture, I didn't appreciate it enough. Seeing people now like owning a piece of our culture and really valuing it and being thoughtful about it has made me proud of where I come from, what we create, understand it more, and really want to share it even more.
Do you feel now a responsibility to pass that on to the next generation?
Absolutely. I feel like it's a commitment for life. So in true Moroccan fashion, we have to make you some minty.
I would love some.
Okay, let's mix it. Do you want green or yellow?
Oh, yellow, please.
Yeah.
I love it.
You go, my love.
Thank you. Can you show us how you can sort of change the rug bespoke to the sort of interior you have?
If we're starting from a design that we already have in our in-house collection, so for example, that one there is one of our popular picks for bedrooms. We'll typically put the rug up and then add any fabrics that they've identified as ones that are core to the design. We work together to figure out if the colors that are in the motifs work, and if not, for example, in this one, maybe they want the light pink color to be red instead. Another aspect is the tassels in the rug. We also can talk about the construction of the weave. This is where we kind of come together over a cup of tea and then we just create.
Being the founder, you're also the designer, and this is a beautiful piece up here that you've actually designed. Can you tell us a bit more about that process and how you switch?
Ever since I was a kid, I've always had a creative streak, and I think with my grandma, because she was so creative, she would always, wear very colorful clothes, and she was very bold with her fashion choices and her interiors. That I feel like I had that in me somewhere. I think that's something that keeps me connected to why we do this as well. A lot of the designs that I do are always anchored in motifs that are traditional, that have meaning, that I have to research and really do justice. And it always kind of keeps me grounded of why we're doing this. We're trying to preserve a culture, preserve an identity of our ancestors almost.
How much does doing, the journey of creating this business and designing connect you back with your grandmother?
If she was alive still, she would love seeing everything we do. She'll probably have a lot of opinion.
Yes.
She will probably have a lot of feedback, and I feel spiritually connected to not just her, but also, her mum was also a weaver, and her mum before. And I feel like there was a side of my personality that I never really truly understood. I'm very loud. I love bold colors. Growing up, I just never understood where that came from. So I think like being in this space, it just makes me understand a lot more about my taste. And just my personality, like I'm very, very similar to my grandma. I'm quite independent. I'm a businesswoman, which she was.
Yes.
Essentially, a lot of the weavers that we work with are businesswomen, quite ruthless, to be honest.
Can you show me some of the rugs?
Of course, let's go. But I'll show you a few because there is many that we can open.
This is like a check.
It is a
check one.
Unique take on checkered. So to give the almost look and feel of a wave. This one is actually called Embrace. Illustrates a mother's hug, actually. So we took the diamond motif and then had these lines coming out of it, and it almost feels like a hug. And this piece is part of our classic styles. that are focused on two primary colors, so natural cream and like an earthy brown.
Yeah.
And it's all made by undyed wool. So this is the natural wool that comes from sheep.
It's natural wool.
Yes.
And they're sourcing it from Morocco.
Yeah. So this is Atlas wool. So
Atlas wool. So it's
sheep,
okay.
From the Atlas, and natural wool comes in natural cream that we know,
Yes.
brown, like different shades of brown, and black. And we love the idea to almost minimize, any extra process. Obviously, when you dye wool, either you do it chemically or even with the natural dyes, there's a process, there is waste in water. We wanted to make a collection that's almost like stripping everything else back and coming back to the essence of it, which is just natural wool.
Completely natural.
Yeah. So
that is my favourite one.
So happy.
I want that rug in my house.
Well, you can have it.
And so okay, we're going to have to roll this one out.
We're going to have to, it's like a two-person job.
Okay, wait. Oh my God, it's heavy. Wow. Oh my gosh.
So this is a vintage Benny Rain rug, which actually rarely comes in a dark color. And it's sit on the side here.
Funky socks, but I actually just wanted to feel it. Oh my gosh, it's so nice. So soft. I need to get a bigger room. Bigger living room.
So yeah, sourcing rugs is definitely a passion of mine that I'm hoping to continue doing.
See if I can like stretch out.
Is that
this
good?
Is actually quite.
That's very comfy.
This is so calming.
This is like a meditation retreat. Did you realize you're going to meditate today?
Wow, that was amazing. If I didn't love Moroccan artistry already, I certainly do now. Thank you so much for watching, and join us next time for another episode of Behind the Design.